initiative of Sunrise Learning Foundation that is basically meant to provide employee specializer initiative of this foundation, Sunrise Learning Foundation, um, to provide a platform of not only empowerment for employment, but also real meaningful employment opportunities for people who have different needs. And so this initiative was started in September 2020 during the lockdown. And when we started off, we had no idea that we will get this golden opportunity to meet Team SAP. SAP, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the pioneer corporate organizations globally at a global level who started to hire people on the spectrum and in such amazingly beautiful ways. They don't just hire, they also become mentors, they become buddies, they guide us throughout this employment journey, which is so amazingly wonderful. And we are trying to learn from them uh, how to go ahead on this journey towards employment. So today, Team SAP is here with us. We have Kartik and Amit, and we also have Manas with us, who is a proud person on the spectrum and an amazing employee at SAP. And I also want to introduce Team Sunrise Learning here. We have with us myself, I'm Dr. Sonali. We have with us Ms. Ruchi. She's the coordinator at Sunrise Learning. Ruchi, can you say hello? Hello. We also have
Hello.
We also have Reena ma'am with us. Reena Sodhi ma'am is the vocational training class teacher. Hello, Reena ma'am.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
We have Vandana Gautam ma'am. Vandana Gautam ma'am is the computer ICT educator and the AAC facilitator. She gives voices to people who have difficulties in communicating. And we also have Eshan Mehta with us. Eshan Mehta is a proud member of the faculty team, and he's also on the spectrum and a dynamic 25-year-old design and database specialist at Sunrise Learning. So, Kartikeyan, Amit, and Manas, over to you for this session. Thank you so much for being here once again.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonali. And thank you, everyone. I welcome the friends in the autism spectrum and also the caretakers, parents, everyone here. A warm welcome from our side from SAP team. So I myself, Kartik, and we have Amit, who is a manager at SAP, and also Monas, who is working as part of the Autism at Work program.
Yes.
So if you have attended the last week's session, we have seen the whole Autism at Work program, how it runs in SAP, when it is started, and what kind of roles we hire people in the autism spectrum. And very wonderfully shared by our SVP, Meena, and also Amit sharing as a manager in terms of the role of a tester in the team and what all the advantages they bring into the team and the whole process of how the testing works. And I myself, Kartik, I have shared a short demo on doing a testing and how to document things. I hope you have, one of you at least would have done some kind of testing with the links. You would have got the presentation. We have shared it with Sonali ma'am. You would have got it. If not done, I would suggest you do it. So this week, today, what we are going to do is, it's going to be completely experience sharing session. First, it is going to be started with Manas, and then I, as a mentor for the Autism at Work, myself sharing my experiences, keeping in mind the audience in place, parents, and also friends in the spectrum, and also from the academic perspective, considering the Sunrise School, you know. And then Amit, as a manager, will share his experiences of having a team member in his team at the end.
Okay.
So maybe Amit, would you like to give a short introduction for the audiences today? Can you unmute yourself, Amit?
audible now?
Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Amit Agrawal. I'm a development manager at SAP, and I consider myself lucky that I also have the privilege to work with one of my team members who's from this spectrum. And post Karthik has shared some information. I will be sharing my experience with you. That how
Yes.
my experience has been with a person in my team. Yeah.
Thank you, Amit. So myself, Karthik, I'm product expert at SAP, and more than that, I'm proud to call myself a friend and mentor for Autism at Work friends in our company.
Yes.
And next, Manas will introduce himself and share his journey with you. Go ahead, Manas.
Yes. Good evening. I am Manas. Today I'll be talking on about myself and insights into my role at SAP. My name is Manas Harit Sarupa. Agenda. I'm going to talk on about myself, family, education and hobbies. I'm going to talk on about my work experience. I'm going to talk on insights into my role. I'm going to talk on preferences and areas where additional support is needed. Next slide, please. About myself, family, education, and hobbies. Next slide, please. About myself, family. We are four members in a family. My father's name is Bala Subramanian Mangla Prasad, Executive Director at BMRCL. My mother's name is Meera Prasad, working as SVP Senior Vice President at Origin Insurance Brokers. My grandmother's name is Meena Mani and she is a homemaker and does household work. Education. I finished my schooling in April 2012 from Lady Andal School, Chennai. I finished my Bachelor of Commerce in May 2015 from Annamalai University Correspondence. I finished my MBA Finance in May 2017 from Periyar University Correspondence. I finished GNIT program from NIT BTM Layout, Bangalore in December 2016. Next slide, please. I'm going to talk on about myself. I practice yoga every day. Daily we do Surya Namaskar, Pranayama, alternate nostril breathing and meditation which helps us to calm our mind and body and helps to calm the soul also. I practice running every day. I run every day 4 to 6 kilometers and average speed is 5 kilometers per hour. I did the running. I got a medal for first half marathon in the year February 2020 at Auroville Marathon, where I did 21.1 kilometers in
Sorry to
2
interrupt,
hours
Manas.
30 minutes on 9th
Uh,
February
yeah,
2020.
Manas, Manas, sorry to interrupt.
I love trekking. I love enjoying trekking, going out for nature treks, and I have submitted
Manas,
Mount Adi and the
Manas,
Mole,
Manas,
which was the third highest peak in Karnataka on 15th
uh,
October 2019.
Manas, Manas, wait.
1748
Manas,
Is there a problem?
uh, can you hear it
meters
clearly? Is there a break?
There are some interruptions here and there
Yeah, yeah,
because of
yeah,
the
yeah.
probably the network
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is
I just
breaking.
want to stop for a while so that audience can have a non-interrupted talk from Manas. Uh,
Next slide,
Manas, can you hear
please.
me? Manas, can you hear me? I think,
I think he cannot hear us.
yeah. So it's network problem. Just sorry for the interruption. As we know, working virtually, these are all technical interruptions which we cannot avoid. I'll just reach out to Manas. Maybe you can pause the recording for a while.
Yes.
Manas, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So Manas, there was some
Okay.
while you were talking, there were some breaks in your voice which were coming. So that's why Karthik wanted you to stop for a moment. And maybe if the voice is fine now,
Yeah.
if the connectivity is fine, then we can start again. I think so.
Can you check? Can you check your network, Manas? All the bars in the laptop. Maybe you can move to the place where you get all the lines in the laptop for the network. Can you check it? Yeah.
He has left and he will be joining again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was really impressed by the physical work structure that he shared. The mornings, he runs for around 5 kilometers every day. He does an everyday yoga session, and he also goes to treks, which is so powerfully inspiring. All of us need to learn from him.
Yes. So I'm just reaching out to Manas. He'll be back in a few seconds.
Manas, we cannot hear you.
Yes, I spoke to him. He'll be joining in a few seconds.
Rajesh Srivastav ji, Manas was talking and now he is just joining back because there were some interruptions in the voice. So he is joining back again. Thank you for your patience. Those of you who have joined a little late, let me again introduce Manas. Manas is a young dynamic employee at SAP, and he is working with his wonderful team, Amit Agarwal and Kartik here, who are his mentors. And yes,
Yeah, I've
Manas is
joined.
back.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Sonali. You want to complete what you were saying?
I was just introducing Manas to people who joined late.
Yes.
Perfect.
So, yes, and I've done that. Thank you, Manas. Please, you can
Welcome.
carry on.
Yes. No problem.
Yeah, maybe Manas will start quickly. You can
Okay.
go through from the start. Yeah, so the network
Yes.
was not so great. Now it's
Okay.
perfect. Let's go ahead.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Good evening. I am Manas. Today I'm going to talk on about myself and insights into my role at SAP. Moves next slide. About agenda, about myself, family, education and hobbies, my work experience, insights into my role, preferences and areas where additional support is needed. Next slide, please. About myself, family, education and hobbies. Next slide, please. About myself. Family. We are four members in a family. My father's name is Balasubramanian Mangala Prasad, Executive Director at Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation Limited. My mother's name is Meera Prasad, working as SVP Senior Vice President at Origin Insurance Brokers. My grandmother's name is Meena Mani and she's a homemaker and does household work. Education. I finished my schooling in April 2012 from Lady Andal School, Chennai. I finished my Bachelor of Commerce in May 2015 from Annamalai University Correspondence. I finished my MBA Finance in May 2017 from Periyar University Correspondence. I finished the NIT program from NIT BTM Layout, Bangalore in December 2016. Next slide, please. I'm going to talk on about myself. I practice yoga every day. That is, we do Surya Namaskar, Pranayama, breathing and meditation every day to keep our mind and body and soul calm and healthy. I practice running every day, means I run around 4 to 6 kilometers per hour and average speed is 5 kilometers per hour. And I got a medal for completing my first half marathon. I ran 21.1 kilometers in February 2020 at Auroville Marathon. I love trekking. I love to enjoy nature, going exploring the peaks outside the nature, and I summited Mount Adiandamul, third highest peak in Karnataka, 1,748 meters above sea level. Next slide, please. I'm going to talk on about my work experience. Next slide, please. I'm going to talk on my work history. I did my employability training at Enable India for 6 months from November 2015 till April 2016. At Enable India, I was doing the ESP receptionist role and I was checking the data also present, and even I was checking the hotel bills also, how much the payment is to be made by the vendor, even the supplies of the bills also we were doing as an autism friends for autism group. Me, Promit, Mahindra, and all our friends were doing this job together as a team at Enable India. Then I worked in MICES as an intern from April 2016 till August 2016. There I was working on the letter of credit and export guarantee and banker's guarantee, and I was doing it in a dumb software, which is an automated software testing like a glass box testing in Google Chrome. It is a financial software company, and I used to do the test cases in the Excel sheet, and I used to send those reports every day at MICES. Then after that, I worked in SAP Labs as a software tester through Talent Pro from December 2016 till June 2017. There I was doing the testing of Student Activity Hub application. I was testing the students, the marks of the various students in SAH Hub, and I was doing the testing of the groups application in the Student Activity Hub application. And then I was doing the test case execution of automated scripts of bookmarks and group builder, and then the version became automated in the month of July 2017. From July 2017 till December 2017, I worked through Magna Infotech, and there I had done only the test case execution of automated scripts of bookmarks and group builder, and then the version became automated in the month of July 2017. And then I worked in Magna Infotech and after that I could not get much support and cooperation from Team SAP,
Is there a break
from
for
July
us?
2017 till December 2017. So what I was doing is I was just doing my learnings like software testing, accounts debit and credit, accounting basics. I was reading the fundamentals of accounts debit and credit, and I was
Sorry
just
to
knowing
interrupt.
those
Can everyone listen to Manas? Is there an interruption?
Oh, no, it is not clearly audible. He is
Yeah, so
again
there is a
in a
network.
place where network is poor.
Manas, can you move to a place where network is there? Can you please again? I see that your network has
Yeah,
some
he left the
problem.
meeting. I think he will rejoin. He left the meeting. I think he will rejoin.
Okay.
Uh, yes, Ishan, thank you for pointing out there were some voice issues, and he will be joining back again. Thank you for pointing that out.
Manas, you can join from your mobile if the network lab. So you click the link from the Telegram and directly you can log in using mobile. That would be better. Use your phone and do it. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So we all face problems with tech. So he will join from the mobile phone very soon.
So, Kartik and Amit, can you please tell us since how long Manas has been working with you? And apart from Manas, there are three more
Mhm.
people on the spectrum who are working in your team, right?
Yeah. Uh, so in Labs India, we from the location point of view in Bangalore, we have colleagues in the spectrum working with us for 8 years now. It all started in 2013, and very well it was piloted in India. India is the first location where the autism at work started, and now slowly it catered to the global locations. Now we have like 170 members in the spectrum who are employed globally, you know. So from India, in our organization, last 4 or 5 years, these colleagues are working with us. Like Manas, he works in Labs India for 5 years, and especially in our organization, he works for last 1.5 year in our LOB. Amit, you want to share from your experience?
So like I have one person in my team who has been working with me since 2017. So he'll be completing his 4 years now. But that's not Manas. That's another person named Akash.
Okay. And all of them are doing the testing protocols, or they are doing different kinds of uh, work profiles.
So yes, Manas and Akash, they are doing testing. And um, if I'm not correct, Karthik, there is one person, Harsh. He's in operations, right?
Yes, he's more into the operations, working on document processing,
Yeah.
not into the testing exactly.
And Enable India has its centers all across India,
They
or
have it in Bangalore. The office is in Bangalore.
yes, I know.
The corporate location is in Bangalore, and they have tied up with a lot of partners, NGO across location India. You know, so there are many NGOs, many partners from Delhi, for example, who are already partners of uh, Enable India in terms of giving trainings to person with disability and also employ them in public organization, private organization. So they have a very wide network in terms of employability and as well as training, giving trainings.
Thank you. Thank you. Till Manas joins, would Amit or Karthik, would any of you like to share something that the participants will be
Yeah,
more informed and aware?
yeah. Maybe I can share some thoughts from my side. Um, so if Manas joins, please, any one of you can notify also Sonali, so that we will get Manas activated from then on.
Sure, sure,
So
sure.
thank you. So from the work perspective, from SAP Labs India, we started this autism at work, and slowly it was very difficult. Initially, how to employ people in the spectrum, what kind of work they are good at, because as a corporate company, the company is also not aware of it. You know.
Kartik and Manas has joined just.
Yeah, yeah. Manas, can you please unmute yourself? You have to unmute in your
Yeah.
phone.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes. Mm. Yes. Yes. You were saying
Right.
something
Now you join
about.
from your phone network.
Yes, I
Are you
joined
using
from my
Wi-Fi
phone.
network,
Yes.
or are you still using Wi-Fi network, or are you using the mobile network? Check
I'm
it in your
using
phone.
my Wi-Fi. It is used Wi-Fi network only.
Maybe you switch off the Wi-Fi network and make use of the mobile network. Your Wi-Fi network is having problems, so
On.
in your mobile also you will face issue.
Yes.
Now, now you are using mobile
No.
network.
Yes, mobile only. Mobile data is being used. Right.
It's not Wi-Fi, right?
No, no, it's not Wi-Fi.
Perfect. Perfect. Now it's all
Yes.
good. Then we
Yes.
will again try it. We'll go again. I'll
Which one?
present. We'll
Yes,
start
all
from the
good.
place. Yeah, we'll start from the place where you left.
Yes.
Okay, Manas. Perfect.
Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah. My work experience I've spoken on. Now, next slide, please. After my work experience,
Yes.
insights into my role. Next slide, please. I'm going to talk on insights into my role. Next slide, please. Insights into my role at SAP Labs. I have the PPT here. I can see it from the system laptop.
Perfect.
Insights into my role at SAP. Yes, I'm going to talk on insights into my role at SAP Labs. I am a software test engineer. I work on quality testing, that is test incidents in BCP, which is Infodocs quality check. I do and maintain Excel sheet report. My work includes sending quality reports to my project manager and buddy. I attend Toastmasters meet, which is for improving our communication and building leadership skills. I take the role as a timer and evaluate the prepared speeches and table topics, which is for timing the speech. I'm going to become a public speaker and working on my soft skills. Next slide, please.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the filter criterion I gave is transaction type is info docs and last updated that is between 1st January 2016 and 31st December 2016. Quality check is no one component. It starts with TM transportation management components of 15 lines in the group. That is the info docs of TM quality checks which I have been doing in the month of July 2020 till September 2020. Next slide, please.
Yes. Go ahead. Manas, are you there?
Yes. These are
Go ahead.
the InfoDocs. Okay, yes, I'm there. These are the InfoDocs quality check of TM transportation management component for the year 2016, and I do these. I have been doing these InfoDocs quality check for 2016 TM in the month of June to from the month of July 2016 till 2020 till September 2020. Next slide, please.
Yeah, maybe before we go into it, Manas, so
Yes.
what is Infodoc quality check? Can you just
Yes.
share more details?
Okay.
What is that mean, and what are
Yes.
the things you do in it?
Okay. The Infodocs quality check is I do the testing of the incidents. I check the Infodocs checks, means I tested in the BCP business continuity planning tool. I check their support.wdf, Waldorf's SAP. I check the Infodocs. I do the testing of it. There I give the filter criteria on the transaction type Infodocs quality check. Last updated that is between that filter criteria and the date and value operator symbol and the component. It starts with the various components of TM transportation management, which I have been doing the Infodocs quality check, and I send it. Then Excel sheet report I send every day the
Mhm,
TMs.
mhm. Maybe what do you check for? What is it for in the document?
It is
The
basically check for the quality check done, whether it's done or not for that particular incident number, and
Mhm,
whether a correction is required, yes or no, and whether
mhm,
attachment is copied, yes or no. If it is not
mhm,
applicable, it's showing for the access incident. When I click on the data protection tab, DPT tab, which we are on
mhm,
access original incident, then I compare the Infodocs on original incident, and the details on Infodocs can be found there on the TM, basically the
mhm.
document.
So what kind of information you check it in the document? Like personal data, what should be there, what should not be there? Is there any detail you
Yeah,
check?
personal data. Okay. Personal data, I check the mobile number, I check the email ID, whether it's present, the address, the telephone number, even the contact number, even the name also. Personal
Mhm,
data.
mhm, mhm. So can
Yes.
the information be present in the document or not?
Which one? The information, it is present in the document which I'm doing now, CRM Infodocs incident, and I
Oh,
refer to that. From there, I've been referring and doing it,
okay. So you check for the
checking
personal
it.
data. If it is
Yes,
present, you
right.
document it so that
Correct.
it should be removed as part of the policy.
Yes, right.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead. Next slide.
Yeah. Next, I'm going to talk on preferences and areas where additional support is needed. Next slide, please.
Yes.
I'm going to talk on preferences and areas where additional support is needed. Next slide, please.
Manas, we cannot hear you.
Handholding and mentoring may be required to complete some tasks and expect patience from. Yes, yeah. I'm going to talk on preferences and areas where additional support is needed. I have difficulty in multitasking, so I should be assigned one task at a time, or if multiple tasks are assigned to me, then priorities should be discussed. That is, which one should be done first and last, etc. Extra time as well as guidance, support, hand holding, and patient mentoring may be required to complete some tasks and expect patience from others. Should not hurry up things, but should do slowly and should take deep breath before doing any work. Next slide, please. Now I'm going to
Yes.
talk on achievements. Next slide, please. I'm going to talk on Now I'm going to talk on personal achievements. My weight was 88 kgs when I was not fit for Ramanagara trek, and later worked on my fitness and did a lot of walking and running and maintained my healthy diet and became fit and reduced 13 kgs in the year 2019. I completed my first half marathon 21.1 kilometers in 2 hours 30 minutes in February 2020 at Oroville Marathon event. I completed TCS World 10K virtual run event in December 2020 and got a finisher medal in TCS World 10K app. I completed my Toastmasters Level 1 Dynamic Leadership, the L1 P1, L1 P2, and L1 P3 in the month of on 10th March 2021. And it has been completed. Level 1 Dynamic Leadership of Toastmasters. Next slide, please.
Next slide,
First,
Kartik. He's asking for the next slide.
Yes, Manas.
yeah. Next, I'm going to talk on professional achievements. My professional Professional achievements are gold medalist in economics last 10 and I was 97% all India first securing 80%. Gold medalist in economics last 12 and I was 87% all India first securing 82%. DBA Diploma in Business Accounting application from Genesis House of Accounts Chennai Nongambakam 63% first class. BCom correspondent securing 61% first class. MBA correspondent securing 72% first class. BCom I got secured first class in the month of 2015 May. BCom 61% and MBA I secured 72% first class in May 2017. GNIT correspondence from NIT BTM layout I secured 50-70% first class in the month of December 2017. Diploma in Business Accounting secured 70% first class in May 2017.
Manas?
We lost him again.
Okay. I think he briefly summarized all his achievements. So he has so many achievements to continue on. So this is his last slide anyway. So I'll just take on his email ID is there, and also he writes blog. All his experiences that he has gone through, he has wonderfully blogged. Nevertheless, so the next as a mentor for and as a friend for someone in the autism spectrum, I would like to share my experiences. Before that, I'll stop sharing so that I get to uh, see the audiences once. You can see me, right? It's clear? Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. Myself, Kartik, and I work in SAP. I'm product expert, and I'm mentor and friend for everyone in Autism at Work program in SAP Labs India. And we, in one word, if I want to summarize, we just have fun together. So with keeping that as a context, I have prepared some slides to make it interesting for everyone. Let me share my screen now. Perfect. So the context is, as I written there, it's about how to nurture someone in the autism spectrum. So they grow on their own, and from my experience, I want to share what from my experiences, very close experience for the last 2.5 years. When I say close, every single day I make sure that I have interacted, I have experiences talking with the person in the autism spectrum, interacting
Okay.
with them, understanding them. Thank you, Manas, for your
Welcome.
presentation. I started mine. Okay.
Yes, right.
You can mute yourself if needed. Thank you.
Yes.
So I want to share my experiences. So then I thought, what should I share? So I realized there is a school, and Dr. Sonali is there, and we have, I'm sure, parents from the autism, children in the autism spectrum is there, and also the friends in the autism spectrum are there. So then I thought a topic, how to nurture someone in the autism spectrum. So I want to share, there are many stories. I picked up my interaction and my journey with Manas for the last 2 years. So almost some 3 years back, we were doing some kind of sports activity in our company. We were asking people to do pull-ups, push-ups, and engage in some kind of sports activity to engage them to become fitter. And I was the moderator of the running interest group. So we were organizing this activity. Then I found a man, handsome man with formal shirt and pant, trousers, and he wanted to engage in doing push-ups and pull-ups. Then I saw, okay, there is an interest, but the way he was doing pull-ups and push-ups, I found something different. That's where I first get to know Manas. Get to know when I say I just saw Manas. And what does it mean when I look back? Me being observant about what is happening around. So I could see someone, first of all, and they are doing something different. And that awareness, I got to know that somebody in the spectrum, only because I was observant. So, what is the takeaway here is as a caretaker, as a parent, as a friend, we have to be observant about what they are good at. So there will be something, everyone are good at. So we have to be really always in the observation mode, not very close when I say observation, but let them do the things, and if we find that sweet spot, what they are good at, then everything starts from there on. So for me, the journey with Manas started on one fine day, where I was observant looking at him, and I found that he was interested in doing something on the sports. And the next, I get to know, I associate myself with him. I get to know more about autism spectrum. I get to know what it means. And I conducted some running events in our company. So I invited him. So we had 3 or 4 colleagues in the autism spectrum joined. So through Manas, I get to know about autism spectrum, and I also get to know the autism at work in detail and in my own interest, in the company's interest, like fitness events, running events. We were able to include people in the autism at work program. So until then, it was not we were not aware as a running interest group, at least for me as a moderator. Then I found that I extended my invite to those in the Autism at Work program, and surprisingly, everyone come in the Autism at Work program. And the good thing is they come on time, unlike others, the typical people. So we had 3 or 4 people coming and participating in the running events. So that's where I found his interest. So I get to know that Manas is interested in fitness. Manas is interested in sports. He's good at many other things. Intellectually, he has many achievements, academic achievements than me. And but I found that his interest is towards sports, running in general. So identify the interest. So once we observe what they are good at, identifying the interest helps in terms of nurturing that interest, like sowing the seed and growing it as a plant and as a tree, giving a metaphor to it. So then he started running. I involved in all the running events, being open-minded and taking risk. So I was going for some trek. I planned to go for Ramnagara trek along with some of my friends. And I got one call from an unknown number. He said, I'm also coming for the trek. And he disconnected the call. I don't have that number. So I called the number back, and I got to know that it is Manas. And he get to know through somebody that I'm going for a trek. So he found that interest that he wanted to go for a trek, and he never gone for a trek. For me, I don't know his capacity. For his capacity, it was like a very hard, difficult level trekking, Ramnagara trek. If you have gone to Ramnagara trek in Bangalore, some of you might know. Some of you who do trekking might know how difficult it will be, like getting the ascent peak at night. But what was going in my mind is, yeah, he's passionate about it and he's interested in it. So I was open-minded. I never limited myself. What would happen, me taking someone in the autism spectrum? What will be the problem? I don't see all these things. So we always look at when, especially in the spectrum, no, because I have close collaboration and interaction with the parents of all these friends in the autism spectrum. Also, they come to me through calls, and so there was some kind of over care, over protection, you know because of which we not allowing them to take risk in life, and we believe that they can go only this level and this is not possible. That is surely a myth. We have to break that myth. So then I just took him. His mom called. He is very interested in the trek. I don't know I said, "Okay, let him come. What is there in it?" So we just went for it, and he did it beautifully. And I was so passionate about the trekking, and I still remember my first experience with him. Getting closer. We were traveling in the bus. He was sitting, and I was. It was at midnight, 11:30. So the bus was going. So I lie down on the shoulder. Then I heard a loud voice. "Excuse me, you cannot lean on my shoulders." Okay, I should not lean. Okay, so I don't lean. So that was the kind of initial experiences. It was a bit hard. And slowly I'll share you how we were closer now. So that was the initial experiences with him. So what is the takeaway I wanted to share is being open-minded and taking risk. What they are good at, let them do it. Let them fall and get back and do it. So then there is some kind of a growth happening there. If we don't allow them to do, then already we are stopping the growth. Yeah, motivating and setting goals. So it all started with the Ramnagara trek, our close collaboration, the first milestone of our journey. We got closer. He started listening to me. He found somewhere some kind of trust in me. So that's where it all started. Then I started coaching him in terms of fitness. He was obese, as you see in the left side. It was on 22nd June, the Ramnagara trek. You see him standing on the peak of the Ramnagara trek, 88 kg man. And on the right, you see in midway, 28th July, just in a month, you already see a handsome man there working every single day, doing his running and walking. And already the mid milestone was achieved, 83 kg goal. So we have to constantly motivate. So there was a Google form shared where he will update everyday diet, what he eats. It was almost like 2 years now. And if I go today also, you will find exactly between 10 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. at night, he logs in and updates the Google form. And he haven't missed even a single day. So that was a takeaway for me, learning for me how self-disciplined. Some of the values. It's a takeaway for me how he takes away some of the learning from me. Some takeaways for me from him. How self-disciplined he is in terms of following the routine and activities. So we have to always motivate, keep motivating and setting goals. Set the goal saying this is what you're going to achieve. It could be personal goal, it could be professional goals, but of their interest. If we start giving something, forcefully doing something on them, I have found from my experience it's not going to work easily. Going with the flow, what they are good in, setting goals and motivating them helps. Then again, one other activity is I am engaged in multiple initiatives, NGOs. So we are associated with as a volunteer at India Inclusion Foundation, India Inclusion Summit. You can check www.indiainclusionsummit.com. It's a platform and to celebrate the abilities of people with disability. So I started engaging everyone in the autism spectrum, in the Autism at Work program. They are the first ones to volunteer. For we conducted a walkathon, awareness walkathon, and we conducted many other events, something for artists with disability. So we had something called Art for Inclusion, and I included Manas as one of the core volunteers there. You see on the top, Manas on the stage in Chennai Walkathon, he was talking and creating awareness about autism spectrum. And bottom, you see one more colleague, friend in the autism spectrum. We were creating an awareness program on the walkathon in Bangalore, in 2019. It's the tagline, everyone is good at something. So when they start volunteering, they feel some sense of giving back to the society. They feel worth of doing something on their own. So volunteer with them. Let them volunteer. Take them to places. People with who are underprivileged. Take them to some kind of orphanage. Let them volunteer. So some magic happens when they volunteer. And running. I'm a runner for last 10 years. If you ask me one thing, and scientifically proven also, running really helps to overcome stress, and especially for people in the spectrum, what is going on in their mind, nobody knows. Yes, so for everyone, nobody knows, right? For them, but the agitation or the aggression, sometimes a spark comes. So there are so many things they have wishes to do, and physical activity really helps, and especially running helps. So if you could find the interest in running, taking them for a walk. For some people, they might be interested in running. Some people, some other sports. If you find some of that interest, engage them in the activity of their own interest. So here you see some of the running events we have attended. You already see the bulky Manas slowly becoming charming and slim. And he was talking about the Auroville Marathon just before the lockdown. February 2020, he has finished his maiden half marathon, 21 kilometer in 2 hours 30 minutes. And being with nature and trekking, this is the third Endemol peak, as Manas mentioned. This is the third highest peak in Karnataka, and you see we both summited here. The ascent was better, but the descent is very difficult in Thadiandamol Peak, and it was 1,700 plus meters, as Manas shared. This was his kind of a goal. I said him, okay, you have to reduce from 88 to 75, and I'm going to take you to Thadiandamol. We are going to do it together, and he has done it. So, and he was exactly 75 kg after finishing this trek, which was my birthday gift to him. So being with nature, it really helps. For all of us, it helps, and especially for someone in the spectrum, the mind gets smoothened, and the stress get relieved, and they feel good in general. So try to take them to nature as much as possible, because with the digital gadgets and computer, uh, especially for them, no, it's not good. We have to come out of our home concrete walls and be with the soil, be with the plants, and it's proven also, right? You would have read some of the journals, some of the books, experts who have researched on the autism spectrum. The animals and nature really helps. And you see the screenshot of the Microsoft Teams. After the lockdown, every single day, we have been practicing yoga for last 2 years, just before the lockdown, much before. We do it thrice a week. And after lockdown, even as of today morning, Wednesday, today morning also, even I am not there. I'm a yoga teacher, certified yoga teacher. I was initially started teaching. Even if I'm not there, they do it on their own now. One of them take the lead and give the instructions and practice yoga. So we practice Surya Namaskara for the body, and pranayama, the breathing exercise, and meditation. So engage them in yoga and meditation. It really helps. It really helps again. And we travel a lot. This was the peak, very recent, 2 weeks back. There was one of a friend in the community. He got engaged. He's from Delhi. He's from Amit's team. So he got engaged, and he wanted to go for a trip. He came to Bangalore, flight down from Delhi, and we drove, and I was the driver. And so you see, four of us had a wonderful time over weekend in Ooty, and we came back. So they are interested in traveling. So travel more, take them to places, let them enjoy nature, let them see the nature, play around. So these are all some of the takeaways for me, and especially this is for the parents. I wanted to share. Uh, we think that we always overprotect. Parents ideally tend to overprotect. Uh, Please don't do it. My sincere advice is that, uh, from my experiences, because they open up, they talk with me, really there is an urge in them. They want to be themselves. They need the freedom to be themselves. And this is a common factor I have seen across where parents want to do somewhere restrict limit, it could be like making payments, for example. They want parents to be, they have to inform the parents, come up with a way. There is always a way, right? Having some kind of a small account with little amount of money, but let them try it on their own. That's one thing. And also traveling out and taking care of themselves, purchasing things, going for their own purchases. Let them do it on their own. They really look forward that freedom, like everyone of us. And this is one small sentence. Never forget, you are the smart one. You can do anything, and I'm proud. So I hope some of you would have watched a film series called Doctors, The Doctor in Amazon. If not, please do watch it. It's about a person in the autism spectrum, especially in the Asperger's, who is a doctor himself, And I just got to know this conversation sentence where his forefather, who is a kind of mentor, says to him, never forget, you're the smart one, you can do anything, and I'm proud. And every single day, so we share with each other. I share, Manas will be, there are certain routines. At the end of the day, before going to sleep, this will be the last message which I see, and I also respond with the same message before going to bed, So I have told my experiences in a nutshell. Um, when it comes to journey with Manas. These are all some of the activities we do, So we together, what we do is we run a small kind of initiative called Friends for Autism Community. So if you club everything under it, it's like thrice a week we do yoga practice. We do daily now in 2021. Every day 15 minutes, 5:15 to 5:30. We do silence vipassana meditation over the Microsoft Teams, and we participate in running and fitness events for the last 2 years. And there are some who are good at something. As I said, there is one friend in the community, he likes only food. He's very good at exploring adventure on the food. So he organizes the lunch out for us. Even after the lockdown we have been, so monthly community lunch outs, we make sure we do it. And also on Saturday we do a storytelling sessions every Saturday. It's been going good so far. It's been happening for last 1 year. And we volunteered together at India Inclusion Summit, as I mentioned. And we travel and try to track. This lockdown, we have limitations. Otherwise, we try to do it once in a quarter. And good thing is, all the above initiatives, you will see one of them take the form and get everyone together. If you find 10, it's always community helps. As an individual, we cannot do much about it. We need a community of like-minded people coming together and create a platform and space for people in the spectrum, for them to nurture and grow, So this is my overall experiences. I stop here, and I just wanted to share it. Amit, thank you.
Thank you, Kartik, for sharing your uh, wonderful insights. Now I'll talk about my experience of working with a person in my team whose name is Akash. So my journey with Akash began in 2017. In 2017, mid of the year, Meena approached me and she told me that at SAP we are hiring some persons from autism spectrum, and we are looking for teams where we can have these people join. And she told me that probably she felt that I was mature in handling unknown situations. So she asked me that, would you be interested in having one person in your team? I was not very sure how it's going to be, but then I thought, okay, let me give it a try. So I said, yes, Meena, of course, I'm willing to have one person in my team, so let's do it. So she asked me to read some of the literature or some of the things from internet so that I'm prepared myself to how to welcome the person in my team, how to integrate the person in my team. So I went through some of the articles on internet, something on Wikipedia, to know what autism is and how the person with autism are. So as always, things are always not correct. uh, every person is not alike. So initially, before Akash joined my team, I had a perception that a person will be joining my team, and probably that person will need my help in opening up, and I have to do a lot of questioning and a lot of support and asking him things to know his feelings. So I prepared myself in that way. Okay, how to make people comfortable in opening up. So here comes my first day when Akash joined the team, and I was in for a surprise. uh, when I met Akash, I found that he was absolutely different from what I was expecting. Actually, Akash was very talkative, and so I was surprised. I was not prepared for it. So I had to literally change my gear. Okay, I was expecting the person to be quiet, but this person is over talkative, and I have to now work away so that we can have a meaningful conversation. So this is how it started, and since that day it has been a continuous learning for me. uh, First things which I noticed, the strengths in Akash were about his reading capabilities. So when he joined, he asked me that I want to know certain policies, employee policies. So I told him, okay, this is the portal, and you go through these policies, and probably tomorrow if you have any question, uh, you come to me. I'll explain to you. Then I was surprised that after probably 1 hour, he came back to me and he said, I have read it all. so, so I was not prepared this time again. So then I realized, okay, he's very quick at reading, and he doesn't have a photographic memory, but he has a ability that he can point out things very quickly. If you show him something, and if you are looking for something, he can search it very quickly. So he had some question about some policy, and this thing I noticed, that I was talking to him, okay, it is on this page that there is some line about it, and he was immediately, he pointed out, okay, here it is. And then I noticed, okay, this guy has some unique strengths which we can use in our projects. So initially we started, because we were not sure what kind of work he could do. So usually all my team members, they do development. So I started giving him development. So he started doing some ABAP development for, I think, a couple of months. He did that. And then we also observed, and he also expressed that probably it was not something which he was very finding it very comfortable, because the kind of coding which the team was doing, it was quite complex. And because people from spectrum, they have the difficulty in prioritizing, and maybe they can do something very good when they're thinking on one particular topic, but on diversifying on multiple aspects at the same time, it was difficult for him. So then I discussed with him, okay, then let's try if we can assign you some testing tasks, testing and QA tasks. So after that, we assigned him some testing and QA tasks, and he did very well in that. So and from that point onward, he started showing that he has those strengths. So he's very particular about things. If there is some defect, he's very quick at identifying those defects. And other strength is that because he's very open and talkative. So let's say we are planning something, or we are making some sort of plan for some team outbound, or maybe some event. Then I've found that Akash is very his observation is very strong. Usually a typical person might leave some of the details for future, that okay, when the time will come, we'll think about it. but he's very particular. If there is a single iota is missing in the planning, he wants to know it, how it's going to be. So sometimes it becomes a little difficult, but at the same time, he helps in making sure that we are not missing out on anything. So because he will be very quick at asking question, where is that, how is that. So sometimes because we are sitting in a team and there are 20 people in my team. So initially we felt that other team members, they might feel that he's taking a lot of time in getting all those information. But slowly and gradually, everybody realized that it is good for the whole team that we are giving time to explain him, and this way we are able to iron out our unforeseen challenges which we might come. So yeah, these are some of the strengths which he has demonstrated. Other than that, he is very good at presentations. He has been, like Kartik knows, Kartik has been working with him for a long time now. He has been giving presentations on NLP and personal development, and he's really very good at it. And the good thing is that he's not shy. Usually many of us people, we might be shy that should we say this thing in front of people, how others people might not like it. But he's very I will say open in that way, that he has clarity of thought, that what needs to be said should be said, whether somebody likes it or not. So that way he's like sometimes he's a person who is your conscience. You keep something in your mind and you never say those things, but he's your inner conscience. Sometimes he's very vocal and he'll say it in front of everybody. And sometimes you might be uncomfortable also, but later on you'll realize that this was it's better to say those things rather than doing side talks and not talking about it. So yeah, it's a continuous learning for me. And other thing is that like when I introduced him to the team, and this is one of the interesting incident, that team was initially not aware that he's from that spectrum. So I introduced him to one of the lady in my team, and she's a Sikh lady. So her name is Manpreet. So Akash asked her, "What's her name?" And she said, "My name is Manpreet." And he said, "But ये तो आदमियों का नाम होता है. This is man's name." Okay. So she was a little bit offended that time. But then I realized that I have to sensitize my whole team. That that he might be very quick at. He doesn't hide. He doesn't have keep things to himself. Whatever comes, he will say immediately. So we had a session after that with the whole team, where we discussed. Akash talked about himself, that these are some of the things where I find I have difficulty. Like for instance, Manas also said that multitasking is something where it is difficult for him. Also, he also has certain fears of some animals. So we also take care that we don't talk about, let's say, snakes, because the moment he'll hear about some of the animals, he gets scared. So gradually the team is learning how to integrate him well in the team. And yeah, slowly he's also learning to crack jokes with team. This was one topic where we were having little difficulty earlier, because many a times we will crack jokes and Akash will not understand, and he will literally take them as serious, on the serious note. For example, we had a annual event at SAP, where my team was doing a skit, and in that skit they were supposed to make fun of their managers. So they were making fun of the managers, like during the appraisal cycle, that how managers, they do the appraisal, they will not give a good appraisal, or they will not give promotions. So things like this. So it was like two employees, they are talking together and they are making fun of the manager, that okay, now he'll call us and then he'll not give us anything, things like that. So this skit, some of my team members performed on the stage, but Akash didn't realize that it's a skit. He thought that it's really happening. And after they performed this, he straight went to those people and he said, "How dare you talk about our manager like this? He's such a good person." And you were making fun of him. So then I had to explain to him that, Akash, this is, don't take it seriously. It was just a joke, like they were joking. And they had discussed it with me initially. So things have started changing now. Now, off late, I have started noticing that Akash is also cracking some jokes. So this is a continuous learning for him as well as for us. So yeah, I'm happy that Akash is in my team. I have this privilege of working with him, and yeah, I expect to grow a stronger relationship with him in future and with other employees also who join my team. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Amit. Thank you for sharing those lovely, little memoirs and little journey experiences with all of us. And thank you so much, Kartik, once again, for all the insights. And special thanks to Manas for sharing everything from your heart.
Yes.
Whatever you say it from the heart. And this is the most truthful fact about people on the spectrum. We work
Okay.
with Ishan. Ishan is right here. We work with Ishan. We work with so many of our students who are on the
Yeah.
spectrum. And we know this in and out that they
Yeah.
don't do anything to look good. They are not doing
Yes.
anything to look good the way we do.
Okay.
They don't have to look good. They do everything
Yes.
that they want to do, or they are supposed to do, or they have to do. They say and do things that they have to say or do. That's the most beautiful thing about
Yes.
people on the spectrum. So thank you for giving us this privilege of working with you. When we work with people who are on the spectrum, they are like a conscience. Yes, like Amit said, they are like our voice of conscience. If you are avoiding something, nobody is asking me this, let me not bring it up. And then there is one person who will stand up and ask you that question, which suddenly brings you down to the truth. Let's face the truth and let's speak the truth and let's be truthful. So that's so wonderful of all of them. And so the message for today's interaction seems to be like all of us over here shared is, people on the spectrum want to say what all of us pretty much want to say. Don't limit me, don't underestimate me, don't try to change me, don't stop me, and yeah, don't underestimate me. I am different, not less. So this is the message that we all get to learn from this interaction. Thank you once again. And I'm so privileged and honored to be a part of this interaction and employee special initiative. Thank you, Team SAP. Thank you, participants. Thank you, Team Sunrise Learning, for helping each and every one of us to be here today and to do this for all of us. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.